Hi traders, welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris. This video all about the euro dollar and pound dollar. What can we expect next week? The euro dollar, I'm expecting a tug of war next week with both the bulls and bears fighting hard for territory because, as you can see, price did have struggle and problems with moving away from the 21 EMA. And why? Because price made a very strong retracement below it. And then it's always a little bit more difficult to break above it again. So we're seeing price indeed retest the 21 EMA zone as expected. So this is a little bit of a difficult spot for price because at one hand, it could be basically, if we put a fib from here to here, it could be a bigger leg down, right? Or if we see it from a bullish perspective, it could be a retracement for a move up. So I'm favoring this latter one. I'm still bullish because of the fact that if you look at the trend, it's been lasting for roughly a year almost in the meantime. And a trend like that does not end, soon. It takes some time for that to materialize. So one more higher high wouldn't be too strange and would create maybe a double divergence that would send price back down again. So that's what I'm expecting for the moment, is one more higher high. Now that would change definitely if price breaks through this invalidation level, because then in that case, this is not a wave 1 right here, and this is not a wave 2. Of course, if only price breaks through this support line. In that case, it's more likely that this is a wave 1, 2, and down it goes for a wave 3, and this is invalidated. All right, so in that case, we would have a bearish structure. So for me, this particular bottom is very important for downside. I wouldn't trade the break immediately, but if we have a good bearish candle pushing through it, like a daily chart, with a close below it, close near the low, we'd look for some kind of retracement on the 4-hour, 1-hour world, and look for a continuation lower. Now, if price stays above this bottom, even though it dips below the 21 EMA, it could rebound, I should say, and bounce. And we could put a fib from here to here, and we see that price could bounce at the 61.8, 78, the 88.6 fibs. Those could be all levels where price hits and bounces. And then I would be looking for a next breakout. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on three things. One is potential bearish break, although I don't think that will happen. Two, the bullish bounce at one of these three fibs. Actually already more or less hit the 61.8 fib. That seems more likely to me, and I will be monitoring 4-hour and daily candlestick patterns to see if we get such a bounce. And three is the breakout to the upside above this resistance trend line. And once price does establish a bounce and a breakout, the target, in my view, the main target, is around 127.50, because if we put a fib on this swing high from the past, and you see that here we had a 38.2 fib bounce, and that target, actually the minus 272 target, is around 127.50. So that's the main target of this breakout to the upside. And then could it extend to 130? Perhaps. We'd have to see how price moves as it breaks out, but I think that 127.50 is a decent target, and either at that level or 130 or somewhere in between, there could be a bigger bearish correction that starts at that point. So that's my take on things for the euro dollar. This is typical when we see price basically breaking above the 21 EMA after a decent correction like this. It takes some time. You often see a break, pullback, and then the continue is where you get more momentum. And that's what I'm expecting here too. But once again, if price does break through this bottom, that does change perspectives, of course, and my view. So that's what's going on in the euro dollar. I think it's going to be an interesting week next week or the week after. So from the pound dollar perspective, it is pretty much the same in my view. We're looking at a correction according to Elliott wave theory. This could easily be an ABC within a wave 4 still. Now I know that this particular wave 4 correction is deeper than usual, but I still think it's possible because it doesn't necessarily go into the price territory of wave 1, so that would not rule out a wave 4 as yet, at least. And well, that could change if price were to continue lower, specifically if it breaks through these purple lines. That does not seem that likely anymore. But for the moment, it is keeping its head up above that. This price is still staying above that level, and actually we saw on the 4-hour chart, we did see some rally here. So at the moment, this could be a retracement, just like the euro dollar. And if we put a fib from here to here, we see that price basically retested and bounced at this 61.8 fib. So that bounce has already occurred. That bounce reversal idea that I'm talking about for the euro dollar more or less took place on the pound dollar, unless of course price were to bounce here and test the 78.6 fib or 88. That could still be a bouncing spot that remains open and possible. And once again, the invalidation level is this bottom, just like the euro dollar at 137.11. The other, of course, opportunity that I'm looking for is that if price goes sideways and then breaks, or retraces and then breaks, or immediately breaks. Those could be, of course, scenarios where I'll be looking for breakout to the upside here too, looking for price action, looking for candlestick patterns to confirm that breakout, probably on the 4-hour, but daily chart wouldn't hurt either. Look, because the trend is up on the pound dollar too, almost for a year, and this basically could be one of those moments where it breaks above the 21 EMA again, just like what we had, basically what we had here, we had it here, we had it here, we had it here. So multiple spots. This could be one more of those, in fact. And of course, eventually the trend will change. I don't think that the uptrend will last forever. Nothing does, of course, in the Forex market. But for the moment, there could be one more breakout. If we do get that daily candle pushing above the trend line and the 21 EMAs, that's possible. We would have a higher high. So that does look interesting. Let's see if that breakout occurs without this bottom breaking to the downside. All right, that's it. Check out more free analysis. We have daily updates with not only the euro dollar and pound dollar, but many other currency pairs. You can check it out by going to elitecurrency.com. There's also a free starting package called ECS Start. So a lot of good material there as well. Wish you all good trading. Cheers.